Here's an update on the fish room down here. Lots of new gadgets have been added in the last month or two from what it was. I don't even know where to start here, but let's start with the RO water. Let's have a garden hose coming in, and then this red line which runs into the 5-stage RO unit up above here. It's got the double membranes, so it's 150 gallons per day. And then it just comes back out the blue line and runs into my reservoir here. There is a float switch in there that just keeps it all topped off. It's kind of like a toilet, works nice. Always have some nice fresh water on tap. And over here we have the dual GFO and carbon reactor from Bulk Resupply. And we have the Apex unit, which I need to get more outlets for. I actually have all of them are full at the moment, and I labeled everything so I know where everything runs, because it can get pretty confusing having 50 wires running everywhere. And then I have my 2-part dosing pumps down here, my alkalinity and calcium. And they're set to run a half hour apart from each other every hour of the day, which draw in calcium and alkalinity are actually in the jugs back here behind the skimmer. And here we have a reef octopus. Does a really good job, even though I've added onto my system now, so it's actually a little small, but it does a pretty good job. And I have the output going into a filter sock that's pretty much just to reduce bubbles, because there were a lot of bubbles coming out, so I just mainly use that to cut down on them. There's pretty much nothing now. Over here we have a float switch. We have a low and a high level, which are connected to the Apex. That just turns my auto top off unit on and off. Every time that bottom one trips, pumps in water until it goes back full again. I do have it set for a 30-minute cooldown, that way the thing can't keep going on and off as there's any little waves or something coming by it and messing with it. And the high one is just a backup in case the low one fails and it keeps pumping in. That backup's your trigger, and then if that still doesn't work, there is a time limit I have set in the Apex, so it will only run for so long and it'll stop. Here we have the auto top off line coming in. The other line that's going that way is from my salt bin, which has newly mixed salt water in there. And what that does is I have this thing set to automatically do water changes. And that's where this line comes in handy. There's a pump in the bottom of the sump that'll turn on every day. And it runs for 2 minutes and dumps water straight down the drain. And the reason the hose is way up in the air like that into that pipe is because once that pump starts, it starts a siphon, and even though the pump stops, the siphon still continues and it'll drain out the entire sump. So having the hose up like that, the siphon, it breaks and it stops. And that runs for that 2 minutes, and then the pump in here pumps in new fresh water again until that low level float gets topped back off, and there you go, I got a water change. It comes out to roughly around 4 gallons. Small amount every day, but there is almost 500 gallons total. It's really not that much. I dumped the Mag Drive 24. I still currently have a Mag 18 in here, but probably not for much longer. That is actually feeding my skimmer and the reactor over here, which goes to my my carbon and GFO, but I'm looking to tie that all into the return pump, and that's why it's actually capped off over there, so I can do it. Just haven't gotten to it yet. But over here we have the Hammerhead Barracuda hybrid pump. This thing moves a lot of water. You can see I currently have is actually a little leak up above the check valve there. And it's a very slow drip, but over time it all that salt creep build up on there. and that just goes up here and then splits and goes, one goes upstairs to the main tank, the other one goes into the room next door. And then here's the 1.5 inch drain I also have coming in from the room next door. With that filter sock, which I have to change almost daily now, that thing gets full so fast. And my bio balls, which are more of like live rock, being they're submerged. They're completely underwater pretty much, so they're not really a nitrate factory. They work really nice. And it's kind of like a waterfall trickling in there. Actually, you could make a few more holes in there. That pump is just moving so much water it can't barely keep up. Over here, we have the expansion room that I added on. We have a 60-gallon stock tank from Fleet Farm over here. Right now there is a fairly large sailfin tank. He's hanging out in here until I bring him upstairs, but I got him on part of a Craigslist deal with another tank, and he didn't look too healthy. Looked pretty skinny. I'm just kind of keeping him down here for now and seeing how it goes, because it'd be super hard to get him out from upstairs. So he's chilling in there by himself. Later on I want this to be like a frag tank, but that'll be a long ways yet. This is my refugium. Got the Miracle mud sand down in there. And there's actually a couple starfish hanging out in there. And the big ball of macroalgae there with the spotlight pointing right down on it. And some pieces of small little rock. And here we have a 75-gallon tank. Currently I'm exploring my options on lighting. I don't need anything special because it's just going to be fish. There's nothing else in there. This is designated to be more of the aggressive fish or non-reef safe, so I can put them in here as well. And a couple of them that also came with that package deal that I have homes in here for. So all in all, including the tank upstairs, I'm pushing close to about 500 gallons of water volume. Should be a pretty stable system. Everything is running well. Lots of space now. Yep, that is about it. Thanks for watching.